My friend, today I want to share with you a truth so powerful that it can reshape the direction of your entire life. Your assumptions are the seeds that create your reality. What you consistently assume about yourself, others, and the universe becomes the blueprint that life mirrors back to you. When you master your assumptions, you master your life. Your assumptions are invisible commands. They move quietly through your mind, shaping every experience you walk into, often without your awareness. Every belief you hold, every thought you repeat, every expectation you carry becomes an energetic request sent into the universe. These assumptions do not shout, they whisper. Yet their whispers are powerful enough to bend the direction of your life. When you assume something, good or bad, your mind immediately begins searching for proof to support it. If you assume that people do not value you, you will notice every moment of silence, every delayed message, every small misunderstanding, and interpret it as evidence that your assumption is true. Not because it is true, but because you have commanded your mind to perceive it that way. Assumptions filter your world. They decide what you notice and what you ignore. They decide what feels possible and what feels out of reach. They quietly build the walls you live within. Most people are unaware of the assumptions they carry because they've been repeating them for years. They feel like truth even though they are only thoughts that were practiced long enough to feel real. If you grew up believing you're not enough, that assumption becomes a lens you look through. If you've been hurt before and now assume that love is dangerous, your heart closes before someone can ever show you something different. These assumptions move beneath your awareness, directing your reactions, shaping your self-esteem, influencing your relationships, and defining what you believe you deserve. But here's the beautiful part. Assumptions can be changed. They are not life sentences. They are choices, repeated choices. And the moment you begin choosing differently, even quietly, even softly, the invisible commands you send into life change as well. You must begin to listen to the inner language you've been using. What do you assume about yourself when you wake up? Do you assume you are capable, strong, and worthy of a beautiful day? Or do you assume things will fall apart, people will disappoint you, and nothing ever goes your way? What do you assume about love? Do you assume you will be cherished, chosen, respected? Or do you assume abandonment and rejection before anything even begins? Your assumptions reveal the truth of how you feel about yourself. They show you the beliefs you carry about what you deserve. That's why becoming aware of them is the first step. When you understand the assumptions that silently shape your life, you gain the power to rewrite them. Your mind is always listening. It obeys the stories you tell it. If you assume you are worthy of love, your mind opens the door for love. It helps you notice kindness. It helps you appreciate connection. It helps you welcome relationships that reflect your worth. But if you assume you are hard to love, your mind closes that door. It pushes away opportunities. It attracts people who reflect your wounds instead of your value. Not because you deserve less, but because your assumptions command your experience. When you assume success, you move differently. You speak with more confidence. You take opportunities instead of hiding from them. You see solutions instead of problems. This doesn't happen because success suddenly becomes easier. It happens because you have silently instructed your mind to expect good things. And the universe responds to expectation. It mirrors your internal atmosphere. If you assume everything is working out for you, even when the evidence is small, life rises to meet that assumption. It begins aligning the right people, the right moments, the right experiences, all because you have shifted the energy of your expectation. Assumptions are the energetic blueprint of your reality. They do not wait for proof. They create the proof. They act like magnets, pulling toward you the situations that match their vibration. This is why it is so important to choose them consciously. You cannot afford to let old wounds choose for you. You cannot allow fear to write your internal script. You cannot let your past dictate your assumptions about your future. Start choosing assumptions that support you. Choose assumptions that honor your growth. Choose assumptions that reflect the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. When doubt rises, answer it with a new assumption. I am safe. I am supported. I am becoming stronger every day. When someone treats you poorly, choose the assumption that protects your heart. I deserve respect. I deserve kindness. Their behavior has nothing to do with my worth. When your dreams feel far away, choose the assumption that calls them closer. Life is aligning. Everything I desire is finding its way to me. Your assumptions are silent, but they are powerful. They create an energetic conversation between you and the world around you. So speak powerfully, even with your inner voice. Expect good. Assume the best. Believe deeply in your worth. Because when you change your assumptions, you don't just change your thoughts, you change your entire life. Your mind is a garden. Plant only what you want to grow. Every thought you think, every belief you repeat, every image you hold in your mind is a seed. These seeds may seem small, almost insignificant, but with enough repetition and attention, they begin to take root. Some grow into beautiful flowers of confidence, joy, and peace. Others, if left unchecked, become weeds of fear, doubt, and insecurity. The mind responds to whatever you plant inside it, whether it lifts you or limits you. That is why your awareness, your intention, and your care matter so deeply. You become the gardener of your inner world, and your life blossoms according to the seeds you choose each day. Many people go through life believing that thoughts simply appear, that they have no control over them, that the mind is wild and unpredictable. But the truth is far more empowering. You are not at the mercy of your thoughts. You are the one who shapes them, waters them, and allows them to grow. When you think the same idea again and again, you are giving it sunlight. When you emotionally react to a thought, you are giving it water. When you believe it, you are fertilizing it. And soon, what was once a passing thought becomes a belief, and that belief becomes your reality. Imagine waking up each morning and planting seeds of joy. Imagine quietly telling yourself, I am capable. I am deserving. I am open to beautiful things. Over time, those seeds begin to sprout. You start noticing opportunities instead of obstacles. You feel more supported. You feel more peaceful. This is not magic. It is the natural result of nurturing thoughts that align with love and possibility. But the same principle applies to negative thoughts as well. If you repeatedly think, I am not enough, that seed grows roots. If you constantly tell yourself, nothing works out for me, that belief spreads like a weed, taking space away from the flowers of your potential. When you dwell on what hurts you, your inner garden fills with the memories and emotions of old pain, and soon those weeds begin to suffocate the beauty that wants to grow within you. You must become intentional. You must become gentle and firm at the same time. You must decide consciously and compassionately which seeds belong in the soil of your mind and which ones must be removed. Removing negative beliefs is not an act of force, but an act of awareness. When you notice a painful thought, you gently uproot it by choosing something better. When you feel yourself slipping into fear, you replace it with a thought rooted in safety. When you catch yourself doubting your worth, you plant a seed of self-love. Every time you choose a new thought, you are tending your garden with care and devotion. Your mind listens to you. It reflects your inner choices. If you feed it thoughts of gratitude, life feels abundant. If you feed it thoughts of stress, life feels overwhelming. If you feed it thoughts of self-doubt, you shrink. If you feed it thoughts of self-belief, you expand. The world does not always change first. Your inner world does. And when your inner garden flourishes, life on the outside begins to respond. Think of the people who radiate peace. Their lives are not perfect, but their inner garden is tended with awareness. They do not allow every passing thought to take root. They choose their seeds carefully. They choose thoughts that reflect who they wish to become. And you can do the same. You can choose thoughts that align with love, with possibility, with strength, with healing. Even if the negative seeds have been growing for years, you can still plant new ones today. A single new belief can begin transforming your entire inner landscape. Your mind loves repetition. Whatever you practice grows stronger. If you practice fear, fear increases. If you practice gratitude, gratitude expands. If you practice confidence, confidence blossoms. You don't need to be perfect at this. You only need to be willing. Every small shift, every gentle redirection, every positive seed you plant moves your life towards something brighter. So take a moment and imagine the garden you want to grow within yourself. Do you want peace? Plant thoughts that calm you. Do you want success? Plant thoughts that empower you. Do you want love? Plant thoughts that remind you of your worth. You deserve a beautiful inner world. You deserve thoughts that support you, nurture you, and help you rise. Your mind is fertile soil. It will grow anything you plant. Choose wisely. Choose lovingly. Choose thoughts that help you flourish. Because when your inner garden is thriving, everything in your life begins to bloom. You become what you repeatedly expect. Every expectation you carry inside you acts like a silent force, shaping the direction of your life. Expectations are more than thoughts. They are energetic agreements you make with yourself and the world around you. When you expect good things, you open the door for positive experiences. When you expect disappointment, you prepare yourself for the worst and unknowingly call it forward. Your expectations create the emotional climate you live in, and that climate influences everything: your actions, your confidence, your choices, and the opportunities you attract. Most people don't realize that their expectations are running on old programming, stories from childhood, past relationships, failures, heartbreaks, or moments that shook their self-worth. These past experiences become unconscious patterns. Instead of expecting something new and beautiful, they continue expecting more of what hurt them before. If someone once abandoned them, they expect everyone to leave. If someone once lied to them, they expect deception. If life knocked them down, they expect future struggles. And without meaning to, they keep living the same emotional day on repeat. But expectation is not fate, it is habit, and habits can be changed. What you expect today can be rewritten by what you choose to believe tomorrow. You have the power to shift the direction of your life by shifting the lens through which you view your future. Think about how you approach your goals. Do you expect success or failure? Do you expect things will work out or fall apart? The expectation you hold will shape your behavior. When you expect success, you show up differently. You make bolder choices. You follow through. You take opportunities instead of avoiding them. You speak with confidence instead of fear. Even your energy becomes more open and inviting. People feel it. Life responds to it. But when you expect failure, you become hesitant. You stop yourself before you even begin. You sabotage your progress. You shrink your efforts. You attract situations that confirm your inner doubt, not because you are unworthy of success, but because your expectations have already chosen the outcome before life had a chance to show you something different. You can see this clearly in relationships as well. When you expect to be valued, your energy shifts into self-respect. You refuse to settle for mistreatment. You naturally attract people who match your worth. But when you expect to be hurt, you guard your heart so tightly that no one can reach it, not even someone who wants to love you. Your expectations create your emotional boundaries, and those boundaries shape your connections. What you repeatedly expect becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your mind looks for evidence to prove your expectations right. It ignores anything that contradicts them. This is why you must choose expectations that support your growth, not your fear. If you expect love, you'll notice kindness around you. If you expect abundance, you'll see opportunities you used to overlook. If you expect healing, your heart will begin to soften. If you expect progress, your journey will become smoother. Expectation is a form of faith. Faith in yourself. Faith in your path. Faith in something greater working behind the scenes. Even when you don't have the full picture, expectation allows you to walk forward with trust instead of fear. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. You only need to expect that it will unfold for your highest good. This does not mean pretending to be positive all the time. It means choosing to believe in possibilities, even when your past gives you reasons not to. It means opening your heart to a new outcome. It means allowing life to surprise you. It means giving yourself permission to shift from what if it goes wrong to what if it goes right. Every expectation you hold sends a signal into your future. If you want a brighter future, send brighter expectations. If you want love, expect it. If you want peace, expect it. If you want transformation, expect it. Expectation is not blind, it is creative. It sets the tone for your entire life. You deserve to expect good things. You deserve to expect progress, healing, growth, and joy. You deserve to expect support from the universe. Start expecting ease instead of struggle. Expect alignment instead of chaos. Expect that you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable with every step you take. The more you practice expecting good things, the more natural it becomes. Slowly, your inner climate shifts. Your energy elevates. Your confidence expands. Your mind becomes clearer. And then one day, without noticing it at first, you will see that your life has begun to reflect everything you chose to expect. Because in the end, you always become what you repeatedly expect. Choose expectations that honor your worth. Choose expectations that match your highest self. Choose expectations that allow your life to rise. Assume the best, even before you see evidence. This idea may feel difficult at first, especially if your past has taught you to protect yourself, to stay cautious, or to prepare for disappointment. But assuming the best is not blind optimism. It is a conscious choice to align your inner world with the outcome you desire, even when life has not yet shown you the physical proof. It is the decision to trust that something good is unfolding, even when the details are still hidden. This mindset shifts everything, your energy, your actions, your relationships, and the opportunities that flow toward you. Most people wait for evidence before they allow themselves to believe something good is happening. They wait for reassurance before they soften their fears. They wait for visible progress before they trust their journey. But life does not work that way. Evidence follows belief. Reality follows assumption. What you expect internally becomes the magnet for what you eventually experience externally. When you expect the best, you create an energetic opening for good things to enter. When you assume the worst, you close the door before possibility even has a chance. Assuming the best is a powerful form of faith. It is saying, even if I cannot see it yet, something good is coming. It is a quiet confidence that your path is being guided, supported, and shaped in ways that serve your highest good. This kind of expectation lifts you. It strengthens you. It helps you act in alignment with the outcome you desire instead of the fear you want to avoid. Fear contracts your energy. Hope expands it. When you assume the best, you begin to notice blessings you once overlooked. You find meaning in moments that once frustrated you. You see potential in situations where you once saw obstacles. This shift happens not because the world suddenly changed, but because you chose to meet the world with a different inner posture. Think about relationships. If you assume someone will betray you, you will read every silence as rejection, every pause as suspicion, every small mistake as danger. Your assumption will shape your perception. But if you assume someone genuinely cares, your heart relaxes. You communicate more openly. You offer kindness more freely, and your energy becomes easier to connect with. In this way, assuming the best can elevate a relationship long before anything dramatic happens on the outside. The same applies to opportunities. When you assume a dream is impossible, you approach it half-heartedly, with hesitation and doubt. But if you assume success is on its way, you naturally take stronger steps. You speak with more certainty. You show up with a presence that others notice. You begin to attract the very opportunities you once feared you might lose. Your assumption becomes the engine that drives your progress. Assuming the best is also a profound act of self-love. When you assume you are worthy, life begins to reflect that worth. When you assume you are becoming stronger, challenges feel lighter. When you assume you are capable, even the things that once intimidated you feel more manageable. You give yourself permission to rise instead of repeating old cycles of self-doubt. This mindset does not mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing an inner reality that supports you rather than harms you. It means giving life room to surprise you. It means replacing the question, what if something goes wrong, with what if everything goes right? And even if things do not unfold exactly as you imagined, assuming the best still places you in the strongest position. It keeps your heart open. It keeps your vibration high. It keeps your perspective balanced. It keeps your energy aligned with possibility rather than fear. And from that place, you make better decisions, attract better experiences, and handle challenges with grace. One of the most beautiful things about assuming the best is that it trains your nervous system to relax into life instead of bracing against it. When you assume the worst, your body tightens, your mind becomes defensive, and your spirit shrinks. But when you assume the best, your whole being softens. You become receptive, you become trusting, you become confident, and receptive energy is magnetic energy. Remember this, you are not required to see the evidence before you believe in the goodness of your future. Evidence grows from the seeds of belief. Life responds to the tone you set within yourself. So set a tone of trust, set a tone of optimism, set a tone of inner certainty. Assume that you are guided, assume that you are protected, assume that you are supported, assume that beautiful things are being aligned for you right now. You don't need to know how. You only need to allow yourself to expect something good. When you assume the best, you invite the best. And life always finds a way to rise to meet your expectation. Release the assumptions that hurt you, the ones that live quietly inside your mind, whispering stories that diminish your worth and dim your light. These assumptions may have begun as simple thoughts, but over time, they grew into beliefs that shaped how you see yourself, how you interpret the world, and what you expect from life. They are not harmless. They influence your confidence, your relationships, your decisions, and your happiness. And unless you consciously let them go, they continue to weigh you down, limiting what you believe is possible for you. Most of these painful assumptions come from old wounds. They were born in moments when you felt rejected, abandoned, or misunderstood. Maybe someone treated you poorly and you assumed it meant you were not lovable. Maybe a dream failed and you assumed you were not capable. Maybe people judged you and you assumed their opinions defined your value. These assumptions were never truths. They were emotional reactions. But because you repeated them, they became familiar, and what becomes familiar often feels true, even when it is not. To release the assumptions that hurt you, you must first notice them. Notice the beliefs that tighten your chest, the thoughts that make you feel small, the expectations that drain your hope before you even begin. Notice the story you tell yourself when someone doesn't text you back. Notice what you assume when you walk into a room full of people. Notice what you believe about your future when you feel uncertain. Awareness is the first step toward freedom because you cannot release what you cannot see. Once you identify the assumptions that harm you, you must question them. Ask yourself gently, where did this belief come from? Is it truly mine, or did I inherit it from someone else's pain? Does this assumption help me grow, or does it hold me hostage? Does this belief reflect who I am today, or is it a leftover piece of who I used to be? Most of the time, you will discover that the assumptions hurting you have no real foundation. They are shadows, not truths. Releasing hurtful assumptions does not happen all at once. It is a process of choosing again and again not to feed the belief that hurts you. When the old thought rises, I'm not enough, people always leave, life never works out for me, you gently redirect your mind. You choose a new assumption, one that supports your healing. You replace I'm not enough with I am worthy of love and respect. You replace people always leave with I am surrounded by relationships that honor my heart. You replace life never works out for me with life is guiding me, even when I can't see how. This is how you uproot the old and plant the new. You must understand that assumptions thrive on repetition. The more you think them, the stronger they become. And this applies to both painful assumptions and empowering ones. When you begin replacing the thoughts that hurt you with ones that nurture you, you weaken the old patterns. Slowly, the belief that once felt so heavy begins to dissolve. You feel lighter. You feel clearer. You feel more connected to yourself. Your inner world begins to shift. Releasing hurtful assumptions also means forgiving yourself for holding them. You are not weak for believing something painful. You were simply trying to make sense of your experiences with the emotional tools you had at the time. Now you have more awareness, more wisdom, more clarity, and you can choose differently. You can choose an assumption that honors your worth instead of one that diminishes it. Life becomes more peaceful when you stop assuming that everyone is against you. Your heart becomes more open when you stop assuming that love will hurt you. Your mind becomes stronger when you stop assuming that failure defines you. Every assumption you release frees a piece of your spirit. Every new belief you adopt creates space for growth. You are allowed to outgrow the thoughts that once protected you. You are allowed to let go of stories that no longer fit who you are becoming. You are allowed to step out of the narrative of your past and into the truth of your worth. You are allowed to believe in better possibilities. You are allowed to assume good things about yourself and your future. Letting go of harmful assumptions is choosing to trust life again. It is choosing to trust yourself again. It is choosing to create a reality rooted in love rather than fear. And when you release what hurts you, you make space for what heals you. Your heart becomes lighter, your path becomes clearer, and your life begins to align with the truth that has always lived inside you. You are worthy, you are deserving, and you are free to choose assumptions that help you rise. Every new assumption creates a new pathway in your life. Every belief you adopt, every expectation you shift, every thought you choose with intention begins carving a new direction inside your mind and eventually inside your reality. You are not bound to the patterns you grew up with. You are not locked into the beliefs you formed in moments of fear or pain. You are not sentenced to walk the same emotional roads over and over again. The moment you choose a new assumption, no matter how small, it begins to reshape your future. Your mind is a powerful creator. It organizes your life according to the beliefs you hold most consistently. These beliefs become the internal map your mind follows. If you assume life is difficult, your mind unconsciously leads you down pathways filled with resistance and struggle. If you assume people cannot be trusted, your mind closes the door to deeper connections. If you assume your dreams are out of reach, your mind steers you toward actions that reinforce limitation. These pathways become familiar routes, and the more you walk them, the more automatic they feel. But here is the truth many people forget. Pathways can be changed. You can choose a new inner route, a new thought pattern, a new expectation. And the very moment you do, your mind begins creating openings where obstacles once existed. New ideas emerge, new opportunities appear, new behaviors feel possible, new versions of you begin to step forward. A new assumption is like carving a new trail in a forest. At first, the path is narrow, uncertain, and unfamiliar. It might feel uncomfortable. Your mind may try to pull you back onto the old roads simply because they feel easier. But every time you choose the new assumption, every time you repeat it, believe it, and act from it, the pathway becomes clearer. The ground becomes smoother. Eventually, the new path becomes your natural route. What once felt difficult becomes effortless. This is why assumptions are so powerful. They don't just change how you think. They change how you move. They influence your decisions, your reactions, your confidence, and the way you show up in the world. If you assume you are capable, you approach challenges with determination instead of fear. If you assume you are worthy of love, you carry yourself with self-respect. If you assume success is possible for you, you start living in alignment with that possibility. Your assumptions guide your behavior long before reality confirms them. They shape your energy long before results unfold. They influence what you attract long before you consciously notice the shift. And eventually, the world begins to mirror the new pathways you created inside yourself. Think about how powerful it is to choose an assumption like life supports me. Every time you face uncertainty, this assumption becomes the grounding energy that keeps you steady. You walk through difficulties with trust instead of panic. You look for solutions instead of shutting down. You invite guidance instead of resisting change. And slowly, life begins to respond with opportunities that match your expectation. Or consider the assumption, I'm becoming stronger every day. This thought opens a new path where challenges become lessons instead of setbacks, where healing becomes growth instead of struggle. It shifts the way you interpret your experiences. Suddenly, you notice progress you once ignored. You see evidence of your resilience. You feel more empowered. The pathway of strength becomes clearer each time you repeat the assumption. Assumptions also transform your relationships. If you choose the assumption, I deserve respect, you automatically begin setting healthier boundaries. Your energy shifts. Your standards rise. You stop chasing people who undermine your worth. Without forcing anything, you naturally attract connections that honor the pathway you have chosen for yourself. The beauty of new assumptions is that they allow you to reinvent your life without needing anything external to change first. The shift begins internally. You plant the seed and slowly, reality rearranges itself around your new belief. It is not always immediate, but it is inevitable when you stay consistent. You do not need to wait for proof to start believing in a better future. You create the proof by choosing a new assumption and nurturing it daily. Tell yourself that good things are coming. Tell yourself that healing is happening. Tell yourself that growth is unfolding. Tell yourself that you are worthy, capable, and deserving of everything you desire. Every new assumption is a doorway. Every doorway leads somewhere you've never been before. Every new pathway you create within yourself opens possibilities you could not see from the old roads of fear, doubt, or limitation. You are not stuck. You are evolving. You are not powerless. You are creating. You are not defined by the past. You are writing the future with every assumption you choose today. Choose assumptions that elevate you. Choose assumptions that honor your worth. Choose assumptions that guide you toward the life you truly want. Because every new assumption builds a new pathway, and every new pathway has the power to change your entire life.